around January 1st through to January the 2nd, you hear people say this all the time. Oh, I just don't want to feel like a grandmother. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Nothing fits me anymore. My doctor told me I'm on the way to getting type 2 diabetes. I hear that every day. I want to be able to run around with my kids. I just want to feel alive. Have you heard anybody say that this year? Today's the 21st. They say it takes 21 days to start the habit forming. Yet today, most people have already given up on their resolution because it is so difficult. It's not a lack of willpower. Everybody in the world today has been part of a drastic experiment that's gone wrong. There is a huge, almost conspiracy out there today about what we're consuming and what we're eating. And most of the world has no idea how to eat effectively for health. Dispelling some of the myths, what you need to do first of all is you need to jump out of the fishbowl you're in. You need to make a change. You know, everything you want in life is on the outside of your comfort zone. You know, basically, you've got to jump out of the fishbowl that you're currently in and imagine the possibilities of what's out there. There is a world of opportunity out there if you're willing to jump out. So just to make sure I've got your attention, these are some stats. These aren't hot off the press. In fact, these get changed every year. It's very hard to keep up to date. So I've just basically said 2 out of 3 people are currently overweight today. 60-something%. It changes all the time. Projected to go to 80% by 2025. And I heard last week, in the next 2 decades, we're projecting to go to 90% in the US. How could that be? And they're also saying by 2050 that 1 in 3 people have diabetes. They used to call it adult onset diabetes. They don't call it adult onset diabetes anymore because kids are getting it. Being overweight, how about this, is more dangerous than being a lifetime smoker, banned substance user, or an alcoholic. More dangerous. Being overweight is having a BMI of over 25. But imagine there was a solution when the people that followed through hit their ultimate goal, and imagine all the exercise they did was 10 to 15,000 steps a day. When I'm in weight loss mode and I want to get back after Christmas, because they say it's not what you eat between Christmas and New Year that's the problem, it's what you eat between New Year and Christmas that's the problem. And imagine you could learn it all in 60 minutes, not 4 years. I went to university for 4 years, which actually did a 4-year degree over 5 years, to learn how to not get healthy. I learned how to train athletes. And what happens to athletes when they retire? A lot of athletes we see blow up like balloons because they never actually learnt how to eat. They learnt how to carb up, but they never learnt how to eat for health. So let me just get those facts out there. You must have a smarter goal. The S for me stands for specific, but also for strong. You've got to want it 10 out of 10. If it's a 9, don't do it. You've got to strike while the iron's hot. It's a 10. It's got to be a 10. Specific, measurable, action-based, realistic, whatever you want to use. There's a few different terms. If you type SMART into Google, you'll see there's different variations, but ultimately T for time-bound. It needs to have a date. Why it's important to you. Here's why it works. If you find out emotionally why you want to change, you'll get ahead. I said weight loss, but ultimately this program is not really a weight loss program. It's a wellness health program disguised as weight loss. So don't think if you're not overweight, you don't need to do it. You know what I actually heard last week as well? This blew me away. Of the 30% of people that aren't overweight, 50% of them are unhealthy. They're skinny, fat people. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. They're never going to get fat because that's just their metabolism, but they are unhealthy. You know who those people are. You can see that, you can eat anything and they don't get fat. Well, they're unhealthy. They can still drop dead of a heart attack. Emotional will keep you in the game forever, and if you recognize, refer, and reward yourself, you will maintain it, okay? Smarter goal. This is an example of smarter goal, was to be around so his twin daughters, he could see them walk down the aisle. The way he was going, they said he was destined for a heart attack in his early 30s, and I think he's 32 or thereabouts. So here he is. Every 4 weeks we reassess. That's 4 weeks, that's 8 weeks, that's 12 weeks, that's 16 weeks, that's 25 weeks. There's smarter goals work. There's a great example. You must measure where you're starting from. You need to have your starting points measured, all right? So what are the starting points we measure? Weight, body fat percentage. Most scales these days have that. Most scales work out body age. You know, what if you're a 9 out of 10? Get on the scales and get your body age, because a lot of scales have body age these days. That'll scare you to be a 10. We measure around the chest, the waist, the hips, not the thighs, not the arms, like just basically the key areas around the navel, and a photo and a video. Starting points, non-negotiable. You need starting points. So you can see there, the goal is to get you down to normal range. And as I said before, 60% of people are out here at a waist measurement of over 40 inches is obese or very high. For a male, 37 or above is still overweight, under 37 inches. And I think I did a bit of a conversion in my head. That's 88 centimetres or 90 odd centimetres if you're listening from Australia. And for females, 31.5 inches. So you can get a tape measure around your belly, not where you wear your pants, around your navel, okay? And that's where you need to be. You must follow the program. It's simple. This is hands down the best. Open it up, get the journal, get the user guide, read it. It's there. It's so simple. It's real food. Follow the menu plan. Real food. Real food is the answer, not calorie counting. It's unpackaged real food. Follow the menu plans and real water as well. And what's most important right now is we don't let anybody start this program until they do a detox, not of their body, of their mind. Now, there's so many lemon detox this, do detox that. Oh, that's rubbish. You need to detox your mind first. Your mind is the problem. And that's where we have our biggest advantage in terms of the thinking and mentoring, etc. I tell people 10 weeks is long enough to form really strong habits, a couple cycles. 6 weeks is how long the cycle goes for, and you keep repeating cycles until you get to your ultimate goal. It doesn't get much better than that. I'll tell you exactly what he did. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what he did. He worked this out. This is not science, but this is how our bodies. It's the easiest way to understand how this program works. You've got two sources of fuel. You will never use protein as a fuel. Protein is a building block. Protein you need. You need a bit more than what they're telling you, but not as much as probably what bodybuilders will tell you, but you need a bit more than what the average person is eating, okay? Carbohydrate, on the other hand, we need less of. Carbohydrate comes in so many different forms. It is available. Every time you walk into a convenience store, you're bombarded with carbohydrate. It's everywhere around you. So this is how your body works. We have a carb tank, we have a fat tank. You know where your fat tank is. You don't need to tell me. You know where you store your fat. Everyone stores it in a different place. Carbohydrate, you only have a certain amount of carbohydrates. It's stored, and when it overflows, it goes to fat. Very much goes to fat. So what we do is, Health Point teaches you how to very safely. Now, don't try this until you've got the book. Do not try this. There's certain things you need to do to be healthy. Is you will reduce your carb intake in the first 3 days. That's what happens. You lose water. Your body drops a bit of water weight because carbohydrate absorbs water. We release some carbs and our body drops. So you should have a fast drop, then a little gain, and then steady you'll drop each week. Okay? So you drop your carb tank, you keep it down. You don't keep going down, up, down, up, down, up. You drop it down, you get to a safe level, and your body goes, hang on a second, let's tap into the fat tank. Do you have The Biggest Loser? You started The Biggest Loser. They changed the name. Okay, they were The Biggest Losers. They've changed it to The Biggest Transformations now. Because it's not about weight loss, it's about change. Once you change your thinking, you'll keep it off. Weight loss is temporary. Change your thinking, it'll stay off. Just quick slide here. This is what your food will look like. I won't go into too much detail, but food will be made up of fruit, vegetables, salad greens, protein. That's how you mix up your lunch rather than having a big carbohydrate sugar spike, which what does that do? It gets your body out of fat burning stage, and then you get hungry again. You keep jumping from carb to carb to carb to carb, and you think, I'm just so hungry. But eating is the answer. As you'll see, the secret to losing weight, I tell people now, it's eating more. So health is wealth. Would you agree? Let's get healthy. Let's get healthy. 1 year ago, that girl there came in to see one of our ladies. Look at her now. She's a stunner. Okay, your next steps from here, very simple. This is it. If you're a bit confused, find a strong reason. Put your family first if you haven't. I'm sure you will, but put family first in the mind. Shout out for help. Grab someone who's got some experience who can help you, and then sweet talk your spouse to start with you. A year from now, you'll wish it started today. It goes very quickly. There's a few photos here of guys around, what their Christmas was like last year. 1 year later, their whole life, their whole perspective has changed because they decided, or they had a strong reason, and they moved forward, and they grabbed onto someone who had a bit more perspective and who had a different way of thinking. So what we really want to know at the end of the day, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know the butterfly effect of what you do today. Who knows? You coming here today could change something in your life. You have no idea what it could change. But what it will do it will give you a chance to get your story out there, and your story is a secret.